In that case, can we cut it to 7?
Hey everybody, this is Melanie from Mel's Board Game Room, and I have Dave from Rattle.ca.
Hello.
We are at FallCon 38 live on location, and as a treat, we have Steve, which is one of the founders of FallCon, because this is the 38 years that FallCon has been doing this annual event.
Yep.
Tell us about FallCon 1.
Wow, FallCon 1. Let me see if I can remember all the way back. Yes, FallCon 1. FallCon 1 was up at the University of Calgary.
Yeah.
We had a grand total, I think, of 50 or 60 people that wanted to venture forth, and it was very focused on around moderated board games because people just like to know what you're getting into.
Right.
Got started with it's an offshoot of the Canadian War Gamers magazine, which was published by myself and 3 other gents. Actually, Keith Martins was the germ, the seed. And one day he said, "You know what? We talk about gaming, we play gaming, we write about gaming. We should have a gaming convention."
We should.
And we all looked at him. What planet did you? Yeah. What?
Was it not a thing?
What? No.
Oh.
No. This was like he had 4 or 5 people that we knew, and we there was a gaming club called SimCon at the University of Calgary.
Right.
And that was back in 70-ish. And we met through that. And then we kind of started this magazine, which we had a great time doing. And yeah, Keith kind of surprised us with this one. We all looked at him like, okay, I guess. Well, no, my wife is at the university. We can get a university room at McEwen. And we're going, oh, okay, well, let's do it. And started printing pamphlets, and because we were doing magazines, we knew put this stuff together, and we said, let's do it. And we had a great time. We, lots of the features that are here now after 38 years still exist. The auction. You
had an auction on FallCon 1?
Oh my gosh. We had an auction on FallCon 1, and it was in at the university at McEwen. There was a round room.
Right.
So we had to figure out how to put the games in one spot and then try to keep our eyes on all these people in all different places. It was driving us nuts. But we rattled through 300, 400 games in an hour and a half.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, it was nuts. But everybody loved it. It was just something. It became the feature event of FallCon. So at one point we always said, no gaming for this hour, 2-hour period. Everybody clamored into this small room, and we just went to town. It was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 sold. People would just raise their hand, sold, and yeah, it was a bit of a mayhem. And people were going, "I didn't buy." Well, yes, you did. Give me the money, and So we kind of trained them,
right?
So. But
now, how is FallCon earlier days different from what it is now?
FallCon earlier days, the biggest change was we had moderated events. Like there was no such thing as open gaming.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Organized wise.
Right.
If you wanted to play Circus Maximus, we had Dave moderating the game. We had 8 slots available. You would just pick a slot and you were in, and once it was full, you'd run the game at 2:00, and
how did you handle that? Like, obviously, I'm assuming there was no app like we have this year.
No, as a matter of fact, there was no cell phone.
Right? Like, so how did you schedule all of that in? Like,
pencil and paper.
Oh,
it was
my
all
God.
Pencils and papers. 11, 8.5 by 11. No, we used the big 14-inch.
Yeah.
And we wrote the game, and we wrote the name of the person, and we had little boxes, and we check off the box.
There was no dropping off.
No.
You're in there in pen.
None. And we'd erase it, and everything was pencil.
Oh my God.
Erase, and yeah, it was it was a labor-intensive.
It sounds like it would be.
Yeah.
So how long ahead did you start registration and start putting that schedule together?
It wasn't very long. We really got into it. So September was the fall. It
Right.
started off as the Alberta Gaming Convention,
Okay.
and then it mutated into FallCon. And we would probably open registration up around March.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's all the time we needed to recover, talk about different games. We were still doing the magazine.
Right.
And we would start in March, and people would send us emails. There was email back then, so
Barely.
that's right. Dave would send us a thing saying, "I want in," and we go, "Dave, weekend pass. These are the games. We're going to have to print off name tags." And we had little clips and stuff here. It was actually horrendous. It was horrendous. When we opened up the day, like the first hour, it was nuts. And one thing that we focused in on was do not wait at the table. There was no waiting at the table.
Okay.
We hated lineups. And to this day, it's
Right.
Don't spend time in a lineup. I got my pass, and now we have technology. I just want to go in and say, "Hi, I'm Steve. Get your pass. Get in there. Let's start gaming."
It's amazing.
Sort of thing. So
Yeah, nice. So that was something you guys concentrated on early on.
that was
At
the time. There was a number of different conventions. CalCon was going, and we had an agreement. You guys were the RPG miniatures, and we were the board games.
Okay. Yeah.
And they invited us to do some stuff there, and we invited them to do a little stuff there. So we went a couple of their. I remember Keith and I were going to CalCon. I think it was 3 or 4, and we waited like 40 minutes, and we said, "Yeah, we're on the right track. It will never happen at FallCon." And so we always prided ourselves on that. We prided ourselves on the moderated games and having people who moderated, get in early, and the auction. There was those were the 3 major elements basically.
Kind of,
And
that was FallCon. Basically,
Yeah,
those 3 things
that's
made
right.
FallCon.
yeah, and that community grew. You asked the question about how things have changed. Everything evolves.
Yeah.
And back then, you knew almost all 60 people, 70. Wow, we were excited at 100. Now it's different. It's not 800 of these people are not coming to my house to play games, right? Back then, of the 100, you'd probably have 30, 40 of them at time throughout the year come in. So it was always an extension of family.
Yeah.
But that's just natural evolution as it got bigger and you get more people. There's just no way you can have that level of intimacy in the convention itself.
Right.
So.
You guys have a lot of independent designers here showing off their games.
Yep.
Was that always
Nope.
the thing? No. When did that sort of come into things?
Frankly, it never really did.
It just appeared. It just suddenly people appeared with their games.
I guess it's the lament of all volunteer organizations. If we wanted to have a marketing or a sponsor, somebody would have to take that over.
Right.
And there's just not enough energy and never finding the right person who had the connections. So our biggest benefactors at the time and still here after 38 years is Century Box.
Yes.
And, Gord Johansson, in his infinite wisdom, said, "We're going to hang in there with you." He never had a booth till later,
right?
Because he said it just wasn't there. But because he said he was involved in giving prizes, we had guys that were maybe 5 or 6 tables, and that didn't really start till I don't know about FallCon 12 or 13, somewhere in there. Memory fades as time goes. But it wasn't. It was, we're here to play games. We're not here to sell games.
Yeah. That is my favorite thing about FallCon is that the focus is on playing games. Mm-hmm. This is what this weekend is about, which is what I like. It's a bonus that you can also buy game as you're here to play them. So I like that as well. How was the library at first? Because you had all scheduled games. So when did open gaming and having a FallCon library kind of start?
Well, here's where the skeletons in the closet come in. As the driver, or I guess I'm a bit of a control freak when it came to FallCon. I had wanted nothing to do with open games. I thought that was pure chaos. I love the regimented, moderated games. People are coming, and then Darren Bazant and Jason Robillard, who were past presidents, said, "No, people, let's open up the game. Let's have a library, and people can." And I'm going, "No, I fought it for probably 2 years."
Yeah.
Really, like they were coming at me.
And I just want to point out, I saw Steve today in open gaming. So I'm guessing you got over it.
But you saw me with a set-up game, though. I was open, but it was I scheduled the time, used my app. I felt good that I know how to use the app. So for a guy my age, I want to know where the pencil and paper was. I'll put my X in. No, it was an evolution, and sometimes you have to just say, yeah, you guys were right. This was the way to go, and the question of how do you organize it? How do you get people? Gabe's going to run, or you're going to run a game, open gaming. Well, you better be there. You better know what's going on. And how do you put a pylon? Or we didn't have pylons. How do you? Hi, everybody. I'm way over here in the corner, and all those mechanics. And now you want to buy games. Well, fortunately, Darren Bazant, he's got more games and he's got his own library. If you want to run a convention, just ask Darren to come. He's got, and he did. He had 500 games. He hauled his games out.
So that was the game. Yeah, I'm at 1,100 now.
1,100 games. All right. Well, there you go. The next convention, folks, is Melanie and the
I do Melcon for my birthday.
Oh, there you go. All right.
That's 1,100. That's ridiculous.
Okay. But soon at Telus Convention Center, we'll have another guest. It was a good move and probably the most significant change because now we got to a point where it went the other way where nobody wanted to go to a hosted event. Everybody open gaming.
Really?
Yeah, you want to play the new games, right? And
True.
How do you moderate that, and who's going to moderate it? And games are coming out like ships out of a bag.
But I like having both.
Yeah.
Because the scheduled events, if you like, the first time I attended FallCon was 2018. I came alone. I knew nobody. Mm-hmm. I didn't live in Calgary, so I traveled to Calgary to attend.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, luckily, I'm not so shy. I was very forceful with my friendship. But having scheduled event was a great way of being able to get in on a game and play and learn new games. Yeah. So I did lots of that the first year. Now I like a little bit of open gaming. You've made friends, a little bit of scheduled events. You want games you want to know. And there's always great newer games available to play. Now with the app, you can pre-schedule open gaming event and invite the general public as well. So that's like another really interesting change in how the game works. Yeah. So what would you say are some of the challenges that you've seen over the years of running an event like this?
Wow. The bottom line is volunteerism.
I can see that.
It's easy to get burnout from this. I led FallCon for 25 years, the first 25 years. And yes, Keith was involved, same as Ken and Dennis, but I was the driver.
Right.
I wanted to see it in a certain way, and I had certain regiments that I followed, and people, as much as it was gnash and teeth, they accepted that. But we, after FallCon, don't talk to us till January. we were done.
Right.
So volunteerism is the best thing going. You can't run an event like this, even if it was a paid event. You just couldn't find enough people to make the games happen. And so kudos to Amy and her crew now.
Yeah.
They seem to have a lot of people around. When I was setting up, a gentleman came and asked me if I needed a hand.
Nice.
I thought maybe I was too old. And so I was trying to tell him, no, I'm good. You sure? And I'm like, well, I know where the pieces go. I'm good. I'm waiting for my walker next. Yeah. So, I think the volunteer was the biggest thing. And then following that is administration.
Yeah.
We didn't have software. We had the paper and pencil.
Right.
we had the animals load on 2x2 and all that sort of stuff. But those were the biggest challenges around running of the event, and I would think it still is.
Yeah, 100%. I can see that. You can't run an event like this without the volunteer because it's a nonprofit organization.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when did it become officially an official organization?
Tim O'Connor drove that many years ago. I think it was FallCon 24.
Okay.
We said we need to have a little more structure. We need to be registered for the government. There's some benefits to that.
Right.
And so he pushed forward to that. I never, again, you got to let go at some point. So didn't really get a whole lot involved because I was kind of transitioning out. But between Jason and Darren and then Colleen, it has come to be, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I think that there are some benefits to that, but back to volunteerism again, right? If you don't have that, I mean, you run an event, you've been at a lot of events. You know, the ones that are the best ones are the ones where talk to this person, they'll take you there. Talk to this person, they'll take you there. Talk to this person, they'll take you there. So
nice. Perfect. So FallCon 1.
Yes.
At that time, did you think it would become this?
No. You know, there was another resistance. And I will mention Brent Lloyd. Oh, I already did? Oh, anyway. Brent and I had a philosophy. That's the word. Thank you. When you get old, you try to remember the big words. Yeah, we had a bit of a difference in terms of I wanted to keep FallCon intimate, tight. Sparta 300, that was my goal. 300. If you were 301, too bad. We'll see you next year.
Right.
Brent wanted 10,000.
Oh my gosh.
So that was the one that we said, okay, while I was running it, you know, we crept up and we moved from the university to Calgary Marlborough and then the Commonwealth and then to SAIT, then to here. Mm-hmm. And again, when you let go and just let it grow of itself, it just becomes this.
Right.
And so the push was for me to keep it small, and for Brent, and not just Brent, many of the other guys felt bigger is better. We can get sponsors. We can get maybe a designer might come and see us. Didn't happen, but you know, that was, I'm sorry, I stand corrected. Grant Dalglish from Columbia Games.
Oh, fun.
They would come out on a regular basis. But that was the pull and push, the tug elements, the rub,
right,
so-called.
I mean, it is nice to keep event intimate with friends and you're getting together.
Yep.
FallCon for me, it's my birthday.
Yep.
It's my birthday party.
Yep.
So I like that aspect of it. Now, definitely, it's neat to see an event like this that's open to the public. Because I consider myself a board game ambassador. I think you will as well. There's so many benefits, and board games are so amazing that people don't know.
No,
right?
Don't.
And to attend an event like this the first time is like, what just happened? Right? That was Lord of Waterdeep for me. My brother came over, we played it, and I'm like, what? And he's like, there's an amazing game out there. We didn't even know. So attending an event like this, it just opens up a world that you might not stumble upon otherwise.
Well, and Melanie, to your point, there's so many games out that the focus now is bring your games, see the games, go to the library, because I discover games I have never heard of. And I'd like to think that I'm on top of things, but I'm not.
There's so many
and
games
when I
now
see somebody playing and go, Dave, what are you playing with Melanie? Oh, we're playing, I don't know, whatever it is. That's cool. Where is that? Or the Roxley game where it's, wow, I'm playing it later on. I'll jump in, try it, and go, hey, I'm going to order one.
Yeah.
How did the gaming world change from back then to what, like, because we're talking, like, you can't stay on top of all the games. There's so many games that comes out now. How was it back then? Like, what got you in the hobby, first of all? And how was it? And did it change?
What got me SimCon at the University of Calgary, found out I love playing games all my life.
Yeah.
You know, the clues, the monopolies, the 101 games on a board.
Right.
And then when I found out there was a gaming club, and I don't remember how I found out about it, went there and they were playing strategic board games. So
Okay.
you're playing Stalingrad version 73, and you were
Okay.
playing the Battle of the Rhine or Rumble in the Desert, or so you were playing a lot of that. And I found, I guess the evolution is, one, I didn't have 4 hours to recreate the apex of the Civil War at Gettysburg and read a rule book that was 14-3-2-1.
Oh my God.
Literally,
Right.
I mean, if you get a advanced squad leader and read that rule book, it's down to 4 letters. And just as that was happening in the late 70s, Germany, Euro games, they could not publish games that had anything to do with swastikas or
Right.
Nazism. So they moved into the European games. And it was like, you were talking,
Right.
blow your mind, like modern art was a big one that came out. And then Civilization, though it was in Avalon Hill, but it started off over there. These games were, I became the king of these games that were very appealing, very visually satisfying, rules that were maybe 8 pages long with big pictures.
Yeah.
Like go to Denny's, I want the eggs picture, that type of thing. And it just, that's what drove it. And that brought in younger gamers, female gamers.
Yeah.
It was really an introduction to that. FallCon was a very male dominated, I would have to say for the first 8 years, 9 years,
Right.
we had 1 or 2. That was oh wow, we got 2 ladies this year. Oh wow, we got
Ooh.
5 ladies this year. Like, wow. And you know what? They play really different. And now it's awesome.
Yeah.
You see the diversity that's out there, but that was the evolution. It went from strategic board games, which are still around and people
Yes.
love them,
Yes.
to the Euro games. To I'm not even sure if Euro games is a proper title for some of the games now.
Yeah.
Relax games. I don't know what the right term would be, but when you say Euro games, you know it's short, visually appealing, easy to get into. It doesn't matter if you're 12 or 72.
Nice.
That
What does gaming look like with your family?
okay. So gaming with wow. Gaming with my family is, I guess I'm played enough games to know the crowd that I'm playing.
Yeah.
So if I'm playing games with my family, there's some games that Settlers of Catan is not a game to play with my family.
Oh my gosh, same with my siblings. We fight.
No, this is back in the day it was Monopoly, Settlers of Catan. Ticket to Ride is all right.
Okay, that was so
Ticket
good.
to Ride's good, that type of thing. But it's much more the party game,
Yes.
the social games.
Okay.
That's the ones I focus in with my family. My circle of friends, the rule is if you come to my house, you have to play whatever is in my library. I come to your house, I'll play whatever's in your library.
Yeah.
And some of your games are, but that's the condition, right? And where Steve Lloyd had me over, played SETI.
Oh yeah.
Man, no.
Carla was my podcast co-host is of the same opinion on SETI, I guess. Yeah.
But you know what? SETI's in the
love them
same
all.
category as Terraforming Mars,
Right.
and Ark Nova. If you play it a few times, like I had to play Ark Nova 6 or 7 times, I started, there was a little glimmer, a match lit, and then now I don't mind playing Ark Nova.
You actually
SETI,
cross and go in positive points now.
yes,
Nice.
I'll play Ark Nova. I understand it now.
Yeah.
Terraforming Mars, I played it 10 times. I still don't understand it. Don't want to. Too many rules. Too many tiny little print. Look at what I got on, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
But give me Zenith.
Yeah.
The Zenith is an excellent little 2-player game right now.
Okay.
I'm playing Toy Battles, which is another great little game. Path of Civilization, excellent game. I'm finding that the evolution of games is the quality of card playing games has just taken off.
Yes.
You can get the same kind of thrill, fun, tension playing card games. So
Mhm.
you don't need the board, the dice, the counters. There's oodles of them.
Yes.
So that's kind of where I am right now in terms of my gaming. Is I want to get in and I want to play for an hour and a half. The rules got to be simple and they have to draw me in. So
Perfect. So if somebody's watching this and they had not heard of FallCon and they're considering it,
yeah.
any advice, anything you want to say?
My advice to those that are coming is, one, come down and experience it.
Yeah.
Go to the library. If you've heard of some games or you have some games, bring them out. The thing with FallCon, and we stress in C1, be engaging in the sense of welcome people to the table.
Yes.
You don't have to be engaging like, oh, wow, I'm the best gamer. But you need to be friendly and say, are you playing a game right now? No. Would you like to try, I don't know, whatever the game might be? Yeah, we'll sit down. Always works. It's always that. It's nice to be reserved the first time, but you can't be a wallflower at FallCon. You need to get your hands dirty.
If you're not, exactly. You don't experience it if you don't partake.
That's right. And you make some great friends. And I know that's one thing that FallCon I will always treasure. We had one of our key contributors pass away this year, Dave Blizzard. But they're lifelong friends.
Yeah.
They're friends, and my circle, I hope when I retire, some of them are still around, that we can continue doing that during the day. They have been friends for a long time, and the new people that are coming in, they have their own little circle, and you bring them in, and they bring you into their circle, and that is FallCon. That is what we always wanted, and we put the words to it and everything, but it was something was inherent. When you come to FallCon, you're ready to play games with others. Be prepared to be friends with others as well. So
I find the gaming community has been one of the most welcoming community, and that you see that shine at FallCon. Yeah. Steve, thanks so much for taking the time to tell us about the history. Actually, Brett kind of handled him in doing it, so thank you, Brett, as well.
Yeah, he did. Well, thank you for having me. I've enjoyed the 38 years. I am, by the way, the only one that has attended all 38.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
So that is amazing. So I'd like to hang that hook up on the wall.
No kidding. I would be bragging about it too.
So thank you, Dave. Thank you, Melanie.
You betcha.
Have a great weekend.
Perfect. Thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. Be sure to tune in again. I think we're about to do a playthrough of the Deadlies. We got lots of stuff lined up this weekend. Nothing that I've kind of purposely scheduled, just because I want to be able to be flexible depending on when it comes to be. We had a bit of internet issues this morning, so we started a little bit later already. So I'm glad I didn't have a schedule already. So bye. Thanks so much, everybody. We'll see you at the next one. Thanks so much, Steve.